All right, guys, with this video, I'm going to show you how you can work some of the Lewis dot structure problems on Chem 101. So I'm logged in kind of as a student, so I see what you see. So again, here's the homework tabs where you'll see chapter 3 homework will be posted. Quiz, learning outcomes assessment will be posted there. But if you want to go over to practice, I have created a few Lewis dot structure problems to practice in addition to the homework. So let's work one of those. So I'm going to click on that, and there are 7 problems here. I'm going to skip the first 2 because I believe these ones, well, see, yeah, they just have a drawn out visual representation. But there is this nifty applet here where we're going to use, and I want to use this video to show you how to do that. So, for example, this question, draw the Lewis structure of chlorine gas, Cl2. So to add a structure, I hit plus, and it loads this applet. Okay, so off the bat, it gives me 2 dots. I have a red one and a black one, and I can click on the black one and it becomes red. So the red is highlighted. All right, that's the highlighted atom that I'm going to be working with. So I can change what this element is. I can change the number of bonds that are bound to this. Well, we'll do that on another one, but let's just work on chlorine gas. So Cl2, if I were to think about chlorine is in group 7. So they each have 7 valence electrons around each Cl atom. And remember, chlorine gas is a halogen, so you'll only ever see halogens with 1 single bond between them. And then you'll see 3 sets of lone pairs. That's all halogens. Okay, all halogens only ever have 1 bond, and you'll see 3 lone pairs of electrons. So if I have selected this atom on the left, it's the red atom, so I can increase the number of electrons, and see it starts putting those dots around it. So if I want to show 3 sets of lone pairs, I need to move up here to show this has 6 additional electrons around it. And then I can change what element this is. I haven't assigned an element to this. So what I can do is I can come down here and change the element, and it pops up the periodic table, and look, there's chlorine right here in our group 7, so halogens. And so there's my first chlorine atom. Okay, I'm going to select the other atom, and I'm going to work with that. So first, let's go ahead and change it to chlorine. So I've changed that to chlorine, and I wonder what happens if I hit valence electrons. Oh, it tells me what's going on. I've got 8 here, and I only have 2 valence electrons here. And this plays into an idea about the octet rule, which is that all atoms should have at least 8. Sulfur's the only one that doesn't really follow this rule, which is really annoying, but we'll have 8 valence electrons around them. So I need to get 6 more electrons around this other chlorine. And remember that all halogens will have 1 single bond and 3 sets of lone pairs. So I need to come back over here and bump up the number of electrons I have floating around. I'm pretty happy with that structure. So now look, I have the 8 and 8 is one of the Lewis rules. So I'm going to hit done. And it's loading the structure, and then I'm going to hit submit, and up here in the top right, and let's see if it's correct. Yeah, it's correct. All right. So let's do one where I show you how to increase the number of bonds. I'll probably try to let's do water, because I've drawn water a bunch too. So let's draw water. All right, so click to draw the structure, check. And again, it's going to pop me here with 2 atoms. All right, and H2O is the total of 3. So remember, I've got a central oxygen atom that has 2 hydrogens coming off of it. So I need to add another bond. So I can click on this and I can say, increase the number of bonds, right? I could keep going and do crazy things, but this would not be water. So let's hold it down. Water is 3 atoms, so I need to see 3 circles on my applet right here. Remember, the central atom is oxygen, so let's go ahead and change the element and assign that an oxygen. Okay, and let's go ahead and just make these our hydrogens. Hydrogen, hydrogen. Okay, so I have my H2O molecule here, but now I need to fill in my valence electrons. Remember, hydrogen only has 1 valence electron. Hydrogen will always only ever make 1 bond and have no lone pairs of electrons around it ever. So those hydrogens will always have the valence number of 2. Everything else will be 8. Oxygen has 4, so I need to add more electrons to oxygen. So right now I've selected hydrogen. So look, if I were to start increasing the number, oopsies, like this is a definite no. That's not what I wanted to do. So that just reminds us, oh yeah, I need to highlight the atom in red first, and now I can add electrons. So if I start to add electrons, what you'll actually see is the applet starts to change shape, and this is indicative of what the real shape would actually be. So that's with 2 electrons. Notice I still have a valence of 6, but I need to get my 8 total valence. And so here would be my structure of water. Okay, and it has this bent structure here. So I like that. I'm going to hit done, and I'm going to submit it. And correct. It's correct. All right. So hopefully that shows you how to use this applet. So sometimes you'll have to increase the number of bonds of an atom. Make sure you're always selected on that atom and it's highlighted in red first. And then other times you'll need to bump up the number of valence electrons to show off the lone pairs that might be in existence. All right, well, have fun practicing and drawing your Lewis dot structures on Chem 101.